All right. Hello, Justin. Please tell my audience a bit about yourself. How long have you been a filmmaker, and what animated that decision?
Hi, yeah, my name is Justin Calandriello. I've been a filmmaker for around 8 years, really, ever since I started working. When I first started out, I really wanted to go to film school, but I got rejected from everywhere. So I just decided to keep trying, and I found some work as an intern at a local studio here in Montreal, and it kind of kept going from there. I do a lot of work as an editor, an assistant director, production manager. I kind of do everything from pre to post. Uh, and yeah, Birdcall is my fourth short film, and it's my first time getting into Fantasia. So very excited about that.
Well, congratulations for getting into Fantasia Fest, and may you please give my audience a synopsis of your short film, Bird Call.
Birdcall is set in a post-apocalyptic world after an avian spread disease has forced humans into secluded cities and compounds. And the story follows a married couple, John, a novice scientist, and Rosie, his wife, who is a very headstrong survivor in her own right. After John gets recently infected, and without telling Rosie, secludes themselves in a cabin with what he thinks is a potential cure for the disease.
I see. And how much does COVID play into the short, either thematically or actually dramatically?
Yeah, so when we were in the writing stage, we weren't really thinking about COVID, to be honest. It was more about our current impact on the environment and how the people who are really behind the biggest issues causing that are also the people building fallout shelters for themselves, um, and being fully aware of the negative impact they're having on the world, and kind of the fallout from that, because there's an undertone throughout the film of John coming from a very privileged background, and a lot of the people within their compound being researchers or people who had enough money to buy their way in when everything went down. So it's more about that dichotomy between the people causing the issues and the issues actually happening.
I see. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, what were some films you were visually drawn to for inspiration here?
Yeah, we went with found footage. We had a very small budget, and I immediately started thinking of found footage because I'm very interested in like analog horror, which has been very popular online lately. Uh, so I was looking at some of the found footage films that I like the most, and I just kind of went to the classics. Blair Witch had a big impact. There's a whole monologue from Rosie at one point that's very inspired by the famous monologue from Blair Witch. Um, I also really wanted to get. I love creature features, and I also am a big dinosaur nerd. So that was kind of the inspiration behind the birds in the movie. There's a analog horror series online called Weird Birds. That's kind of it has to do with like more time travel and dinosaurs coming into the modern world, but visually it there's one photo that really stuck with me that started the whole idea of very similar to what we have of when it's looking through the window, and that kind of sparked the whole thing. So I went back, I rewatched Blair Witch, Cloverfield. um, Really, I kind of just looked at like the classic found footage films and went from there.
Oh, okay, all right. And could you tell me how you created some of the notable visual tricks here?
For sure, yeah, we had a very talented team. Our special effects artist, Catherine Amel, she was very into the script and she wanted to get more into special effects makeup. And she made all the molds herself. We had many meetings going through what we wanted things to look like, how the beak, and then because the animal has a beak at the front and then teeth in the back, so how we wanted that kind of to look like in the bite mark. The disease makes people decompose, so there was a lot of there was a mix between what we do see and then what we don't see. So how much we wanted to show on camera, and then how much we wanted to show through sound effects happening off camera. And our production designer Dina El Sabag, she made the. It was a real big team effort. A lot of people on the crew helped make this giant dinosaur head, but Dina led the charge. She did the whole sculpt, and then we had everyone pitching in to help with details and stuff. And I'm very happy with the results. I think she did a great job. We were working on it up until the last minute. We were still making adjustments to it right before we shot that scene in the window. So, we didn't have a big team, we didn't have a big budget, but I'm very happy with what we could pull together with such an amazing team.
Lovely. Is the door open to an expanded feature film here?
We have been talking about it, Haley and I. Haley Cott, the writer, is actually my partner. We live together, and we've been throwing around ideas. We're not exactly sure what we'd want to do just yet, but I think we would stray away from found footage this time and try a more traditional filmmaking approach. But there's a lot of ideas that we're throwing around. There's a lot of possibilities in a universe like that, so we could maybe do an expanded version of the story we've told, or do something completely new. We're still workshopping ideas.
All right. Well, good luck figuring that out.
Thank you.
And maybe the Fantasia is the time and place to do that. So you're a Montrealer. I assume you've attended Fantasia before, right?
Very, very briefly, but yeah, I've been around at the time. But
You've been
lately,
around.
I've been away working a lot, so I haven't had a chance to go recently.
Sure.
So I'm excited to take part in it this year.
Oh, okay. What was the last time you were there?
Uh, Honestly, when I was a teenager,
Right.
uh, walking through, and then I went to Concordia, so I was around there at the time during the festival, but it's been a while since I've attended properly.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna try to see some films too?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to go see some stuff. The names are evading me right now, but there's a few films that I've already put into my calendar. There's a
Nice.
few events as well. Bruce McDonald has a talk,
Oh
I think
yeah.
next week as well, so I'm going to be attending that. Yeah, I'm going to try and make the most of it.
Nice. Yeah, I got to interview Bruce a few years ago, or
Oh, cool.
it might have been like 5 years ago at this point. And he's a great guy. So
Yeah,
and lots to learn from him. But he's really low key. That's what I like about him. He doesn't. You wouldn't know that he's Bruce McDonald. He's just a nice
yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Yeah,
He does have a pretty iconic look, though.
that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so, have you experienced the meowing and the Fantasia Fest audience though? Are you excited for
I
that?
haven't actually.
Oh, okay.
I've heard of the traditions, but I'm excited to see them firsthand this year.
Oh, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun. It's
Yeah.
a good time. Absolutely. All right. What did you learn about filmmaking and yourself through the process of making this film?
I've had a lot of trouble. The biggest hurdle I've been trying to surmount as a filmmaker and as a person is trusting myself. Um, and I know now, after like going into Birdcall, I already knew that I knew a lot of the people on the team, and I knew they were trustworthy, and I knew they were very talented, which is why I brought them in the first place. But Birdcall helped me be more comfortable following my gut. Um, Haley's a great writer, so it was very easy to springboard off of that script, and we'd been workshopping it together the whole time. But they really made it an easy script to follow for me for leading the characters and the actors. So it gave me that room to really plan ahead. And there were some moments where, like, I told myself, this is the moment where you let someone comes to you and they say, like, I want to try this, and you go, that's great, you do that, I trust you. But it also taught me that there are some moments where the best thing you can do is stick to your guns and say, okay, we're going to do it exactly the way that we planned, because this is how I see it piecing together. And like with any project, I'm not entirely satisfied with it, but I'm super happy with the final result we got. And I know the next time around, I've learned a lot to help me for the next one.
Groovy. Okay, Justin, thank you so much for your time. Do you have a final thought you'd like to end this interview with?
Just if you're going to be at Fantasia, we're premiering at July 31st at 9:30 p.m. at Cinéma du Musée. There's going to be a lot of other great short films. I know a lot of the other filmmakers who've gotten in. So if you have the chance, go see as many films as you can and support the Montreal indie scene.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Michael.